the reason I say ogre is because Mars really does not like ogre being in his face all the time. You think about it, right? It's like you don't want to be spearing him. He gets in the way of the spear. What your God's Rebuke is physical damage. He's got very high armor.
Yep.
And then Bloodlust works really nicely with both Razor and Spirit Breaker.
Yep.
Spirit Breaker is actually included in Bloodlust, especially now because your charge will move faster.
I love that, actually. The ability to clear creeps means that you might actually... I don't know how it is, because I know Face Boots plus Bulldoze level 3 clears the melee creeps until like minute 25, 30. So maybe with Bloodlust, you don't need to Bulldoze, and you can just Face Boots itself.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good.
Whoa, Conker. Never seen that before.
So are we assuming it's carry, or could it still be a mid lane Conker? Because Laura
It
now
could be
plays.
either. That's the beauty
Wow.
of Conker. What a
Wonderful.
nice hero. So flexible. I was thinking they would want to pick some synergy with Mars Arena. I mean, back in the day, you know, Treant, Mars, that leads me to think that we want Phoenix,
Right.
but it's banned. Dark Willow's also in the pool. That's a combo with Mars.
Snap is still in the pool?
There's Willow. That's cool. Yeah. So that's their combo for that. It's nice. I like Kunkka. He's flexible, and they don't have last pick, but it doesn't matter. I think right now their supports, their cores are all very like semi-difficult to deal with. It's not like, oh yeah, this one hero is gonna counter like everything they have. I don't even think Timber's that good.
You don't think so?
Why not?
No, I think so. In my opinion, I think they currently have enough damage with like Dark Willow 6 to like kill Timber plus the hero they're gonna last pick. I think they shouldn't struggle. I don't think it's gonna be super oppressive. I think they have like Kunkka, like we talked about. He has like he's magic damage and physical damage. Yeah, he's a strength core, but he can still torrent boat you. Willow ult on top, plus spear, arena damage, whatever. Like, and you're controlling Razor up with your heroes that you have already. I feel like they have answers. I'm not too upset.
I do agree with that. Dark Willow is one of my favorite heroes to play against Timbersaw. It's overwhelming magic damage. And Treant Protector is bad against in a lot of respects, but one really good way is that Timbersaw pushes towers not by himself hitting it, but by you being able to tank the tower and allowing creeps to be able to hit it. Living Armor is very effective at being able to slow that down. So if you have a slower lineup that wants to be able to keep towers alive and you have better late game, then you can slow down the progression of Timbersaw's map control over you. I'm still happy with the Timber pickup because, you know, it's still 3 strength heroes and that feels good and all.
Not bad at all. But I think Gambit got good stuff going on. I think if they take a fight early before they get beekeepies on HellRaisers, it's quite difficult for them to deal with that.
How many carries are left that can deal with Timbersaw? Because Luna was already banned. Like, you need magic damage or Ursa. That's pretty much it, right? So they banned Ursa, they banned Morphling, magic damage. The Luna was already banned. Monkey King is already banned, which is not even that.
You still have the old Gyro, which used to be considered decent. I think now it's 50-50.
I feel like they could still put Conquer in the safe lane and then just put a really good mid. Maybe Lina. Is Lina in the pool still? Yeah. Maybe Lina suffers a bit to Spirit Breaker though. Do they have Puck in the pool? I wouldn't mind seeing Puck. I think Puck seems good against all those HellRaisers.
How does safe lane SF do against Timber, you think?
Probably not very.
Probably amazing.
Oh!
Wow!
God damn!
Oh, amazing, because too much minus armor. Timber can't deal with that. Not the idea behind it.
He also does magic damage, right?
But you don't go for raises when you're safe lane SF.
Yeah, that's true, but you might in this case.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, fair enough.
I don't like
we'll just
SF into Spirit Breaker. It makes me sad. Feel like he'd die a lot.
Yeah.
But if he's in the side lanes, it's not as easy to gank him, right?
Oh, if anything, it's easier because you have another hero helping you.
He does have Arena to help protect him, but I agree with the general concept.
Well, you're more vulnerable to an SF. Like if Spirit Breaker's in your lane, right?
Yeah.
It's just 2 versus you.
Yeah.
Well, and your support.
Then you're just constantly going on him. If you have like constant gap close, it's like really hard. But you know, they picked it for a reason. They're comfortable with it.
Oh, it's mid SF.
Oh, it is mid. Oh, okay.
So mid SF versus Templar. This matchup's not supposed to be very good.
Nice pickup for HellRaisers, honestly.
Yep.
We said this last. Oh no, we said this last game for Gambit. we thought their lineup was better. Well, this time I'm going all in on HellRaisers because obviously if they won the first game, they'll win the second, right?
Okay, I mean, sure, that's logic for me.
Yep.
Cap.
Do you think he's gonna do magic damage SF since he's going mid and they kind of need more burst against Timbersaw?
Doesn't he want to because he wants to
I haven't
max
s-
raises farm hard and then
I haven't seen a magic damage SF in forever.
I do like using a
Even
Spirit
mid.
Breaker.
Oh, you want that build? The Yule's bomb.
I don't know how good the physical damage build is against TA.
Yep.
And Timber.
The Requiem feels really nice with Mars as well.
Right?
Yeah.
What are you saying with?
Probably gonna go HellRaisers here. I liked their Timber and Templar Assassin pickups. That felt pretty nice.
We have a full HellRaisers panel. Let's not forget last time they were full Monaco Gambit and they lost. So anything can happen for the second game. What's going to happen? Will we get a game 3? We're going to have to find out alongside Lyrical and Trent.
Thank you so much, Avo. Just a bunch of freaking bandwagoners over there. They're like, yeah, they
Hell
won.
yeah.
All right, we're going over to these guys now. What the heck's going on?
You know,
I guess they got a better draft.
She's learning from the best in terms of handling, right? You know, she's coming in DPC. She's like, all right, all you do is just pick a team and stick with it. Cap
Right.
just follows right along like a little sheep. So I feel like, you know, it's all part of the lore, you know?
I see.
Shiva's got an unlock over there. Yep. He's kick. All right,
Killing it.
I'll tell you one thing. We got way more stuns this game, so that's kind of nice.
It's helpful.
Stuns all over the place. Okay, sort of.
I think it's gonna look a little bit better for them, and there's like these nicer like kind of combos. I did really like the Willow, as she was talking about too, for immersion, playing that together with the Mars. This is like that classic combo, but then on top of that, you've got like the thing that sort of threw it off a little bit for me and makes me feel a little bit weird is that switch up with Kunkka and SF, right? And like having the safe lane SF. I just don't know. This game, it feels like you might run into some issues with particularly Timbersaw in that lane, right?
30 seconds.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on, because like you look at those matchups again, you're like, oh yeah, like I got you know, my Kunkka's gonna have torrent for like refraction charges and stuff, so that's pretty cool. And then you're just like, oh, but it's SF mid, so yeah, I like this idea of just like the magic SF too. I really hope they can make that work. Obviously, again, it's not really the meta situation right now, but I think it would make a lot of sense versus HellRaisers' game plan. For HellRaisers, if they get like overgrowthed, I feel like their game is really hard.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because like
yeah.
there's look at we got Terrorize and you got Requiem, and then there's going to be an arena as well. I feel like the AoE control is pretty impressive.
That's fair. I guess the big thing that I'm waiting for and I want to see is if that's going to end up mattering or if this laning stage is going to become just like a pretty big problem. Particularly, like you have 2 melee strength heroes going against Timbersaw Spirit Breaker. I feel like this. I don't know if there's a lane I want more than this is Limitless. We'll see.
Like, I know, right? It's like if only Gilgir was like support Monkey King, that might be slightly better, you know?
Right.
To just like bully them a little bit more or something. Yeah, I don't actually know how this goes well for Gambit.
Time will tell. We will see. Up top now, we're seeing Watson and Malady playing up against Melis and Immersion. Obviously, that combo's stronger later, but there are some nice things you can do with, obviously, the Brambles and the Spears and fun stuff there. But what about this SFTA matchup?
Not one we get to see very often anymore, you know? Xiaofeng, he hasn't been here for a while. He's just a little confused about the terrain. Very excited that he can actually skill his raises, because you know, I've seen some games with Xiaofeng, and sometimes, depending on the matchup, in fact, it was actually a Timbersaw. I saw him take raises in lane, and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But very quickly, you run out of mana on this hero. You know, 75 per raise, and if you're in the side lane, you don't have any way to refill that. You know, you got to get this bottle in the mid.
Yeah, and that's going to need to be a quick little pickup there, and does already have it coming out to him, so minute and a half, perfectly fine, and then stacking up camps later, that small camp potentially, and spamming out the waves. Does feel a bit like a farm fest, potentially.
Yeah, not expecting any kills. Like, maybe there's a chance you hit 6 first and get a trap down, and he doesn't respect it as SF, but seems pretty unlikely. Now, mind you, SF very upset. Doesn't have a small camp. Uh-oh. That's bad. Team, help me. I'm a Shadow Fiend. I need that small camp. They've blocked it.
Mega annoying. It's gonna try and burn through those refractions on Rebel, but just backs away afterwards. Goes for one more race. No, not gonna do it. But yeah, at least so far, things looking pretty even there. But of course, the differentiating factor is going to be TA's ability to farm up her own small camp. But SF's still a little bit ahead on the last hits, actually, even in spite of that.
Yeah, and they're high-fiving, so that's pretty sweet.
True. Most important point.
Oh, didn't get the uphill miss either. Nice. Yo, Lornoff, walk him down. Oh, Shadow Fiend, just so much swag. I always used to say that Shadow Fiend was my favorite hero to cast, but the safe lane SF really killed that for me because he's not nearly as cool. You know, I want the triple raises. I want the hype.
Yeah, that's a big point. At the very least, you've got Refraction to help deal with that a little bit on this TA. Rebel is stacking up the small camp now, and they did get access to it again for Shadow Fiend. Is going to spam out those waves. But we're seeing down bottom, this Timbersaw having a pretty nice time of it. 13-2 versus the 17-4. So Alberca's still farming here, definitely, and you can do that quite well, you know, with your Tidebringer. But with the charge coming through, they're keeping some distance there.
Good bit of damage there as well, though. But I mean, he's level 3, so he's going to be looking to keep that reactive armor as high as possible. And Gilgear probably hoping to give him quite a bit of XP as well. I would guess you want Timber to hit 4, and then maybe you could even start pulling Happy a little bit more. Be a pretty big damage increase there. They try and hit another Torrent down bottom. They are whittling him down here, forcing another charge back just to say, get off me.
Yeah, get a little bit of separation and throwing out more of those whirling deaths onto Happy. But yeah, Salve comes out afterwards, and with that and Soul Ring going, going to be perfectly fine. Bringing Boots out too, so not opting to go for the more like regen Ring of Health build as Water Runes.
That was a sick stack by Rebel. He barely got it.
So that's a triple then.
Yeah.
Very well played. And is going to have to back out as Lornoff makes the move over. Ooh, an unfortunate for a second there. Can they get anything as they try and pull this wave back behind for HellRaisers? It feels like they want to try and sort of start putting the pressure on it a little bit here.
Force the charge on the Lornov, yeah. He's coming way into the tower to bully Rebel again.
Ran off. Had to know that that was coming. Looking for some side blade hits. Not going to get anything.
Yeah, a lot of bashes if you want that kill. That's fine, though.
Yeah.
And he's here in time to stack Ancients for your TA. Oh, Gilgear. Oh, man.
Bottom, or top, rather. Melody's going to be okay.
There's Ancients being stacked, Lyrical. You know, I have priorities here, all right? Defend your mid and stack their Ancients. That's how you play Dota, guys.
Well, kill potentially up top. Oh, Watson. They're trying to ring him down. One more punch. Not going to get it. Damn. And now instead, Melody's going to go down. Immersion draws first blood and still has the Shadow Realm afterwards. So Watson not able to get the finish onto Mars.
Not usually a good sign when you're dying as first blood on the Ogre. Kind of hoping to be the one pulling that one out for your team.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. 5.5 minutes in. I mean, Racer not doing amazing, but still keeping ahead of the Mars at the very least.
Yeah, well, and the big difference here is going to be just Melis's game compared to what's going on for Limitless, who now is level 5 and has a double wave still coming into him here. I mean, this is pretty nice for the Timbersaw there. Charge again, able to sneak away that illusion rune and force back Happy, who's body blocked actually. One more punch. Oh, not going to be able to get there. Looking for a bash.
Meanwhile, they were also double stacking again. Spearbreaker getting the camp while TA got the Ancients. So Dire Triangle looking real fat right now.
Yeah.
Watson, good raindrops there from Melees. Could even give them a potential turn here.
To be careful about overextending though. And Shadow Realm, one more hit. Charge. It's going to go out. Immersion ends up dropping from it. Gilgear making the move. Not bad, not bad. Spot some of these stacks as well at the same time.
I'd love to see him stay and try and force Melees off this wave. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Alice. Do they have charge again? He has it back up again in a second. But maybe, I mean, he's in vision. Not going to go for it.
Yeah. It's some of those things where it's like, oh, yeah, but he's so low. It's like, yeah, then you get speared into the tower and you're just dead. And
right. Well, so far, this Timbersaw getting everything done that needs to be done. It is a little bit surprising, you know, how free of a game he's kind of been allowed to have. But, you know, Kunkka was farming pretty AFK as well and getting everything he needs. And almost a good chunk of the way towards the armlet.
I think Lornov's game is pretty surprising too, though, considering, you know, Spiritbreaker tends to be a hero that people really think of when it comes to Shadow Fiend, especially traditionally, and trying to shut him down, right? You try and bully him in the laning stage, but TA just much more focused on her own game this time.
Oh, big move. The Tumbler's Toy into the Requiem. Blows him up. Oh, Loreno, what a play.
He just got that farming triangle up top.
Damn.
As well.
I've never seen that. Tumbler's Toy into Requiem. Oh, that was sick. All right, there you go. That's the answer. That's how you shut down Timber. Kunkka safe lane, gets the X torrent combo, and then blows him up.
Yeah, his farm is pretty huge right now. This SF's looking beastly. It has, of course, gone for the raises and everything. Is looking for an early Dragon Lance here, but I mean, it doesn't mean you like commit for a magic build or anything like that, of course.
Right.
Just, you're going to get a BKB eventually. This just really helps. Or sorry, commit out of a magic build, rather. And there's your nice triple stack of raises.
Dude, Tomboy's Toy. It's the hypeness. I like that.
That's what we needed.
Yeah.
Shadow Fiend's back, baby.
That's sick. I love it.
Well, I feel like his games look so good. But meanwhile, Alberca's actually the top of the board. If I had to guess, I would have thought that was Shadow Fiend. He was the most farmed because all I've seen him do is just creeps this entire game and then TP for a kill on a core hero. But Alberca just having an incredible time here, largely because I guess Limitless was like backcutting. He was like just grabbing the waves and stuff, and so it was just purely all the creeps coming into Alberca. It shouldn't have been missing any of them, and it looks like he wasn't.
Yeah,
just huge and going hood first.
Well, and then, yeah, armlet. And then able to afterwards, like, immediately rush towards, you know, this, like, quick farming in the jungle, taking a few of these stacks the whole time through, showing off the reason why this safe lane Kunkka became so popular, and I think still is.
I was so confused because I thought I clicked on the Kunkka after it was on the Timber. I was like, hood, what the? I was like, no magic. Like, what? It's like, oh,
yeah.
Okay, we're good. Yeah. Just Timber's going hood. Makes much more sense.
Especially after that death. Don't want to give up another kill like that one. Just a little bit too lackadaisical with the movement. But again,
I hate it when people are lackadaisical and lollygagging about.
That's
it
right.
Ruins my day.
Okay.
It really grinds my gears.
Yeah. Are you making fun of me, Trent?
No.
Hell.
Not even the slightest. I just thought it was such a nifty thing to say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To you Willikers.
Oh, immersion. Get him. Get him. See, this is why we need taunts on less than a minute. I feel like clearly that was a taunt moment. He must have been spamming. Maybe, I guess it's his fault. He needs to learn the new meta of saving his taunts for important moments, you know?
Exactly. Don't hate the person for, or rather the situation. Just adapt. Get good with your taunts.
There it is. There's the response to everything in Dota. Yeah, just get good. Buy dust and get good. Come on.
And Lorenov keeps on threatening these Requiems every now and then. Limitless down bottom again. It was a TP. Happy going to back out of there. But, you know, this is what Cap was, I think, talking about. The slow down that happens if Timbersaw's game by just throwing out that living armor. Pretty annoying. And that's buying enough time for Gambit on the other side of the map to take the tier 1 tower as well.
And I believe Gilgear just consumed a tome and still isn't 6, which really sums up his game.
Yeah.
You know,
Malady.
Saddest Tale, Spiritbreaker, never charging anyone. Just chilling.
This guy's also very frustrated as Lorenov on a killing spree on this Shadow Fiend. Complete and total freedom in this one. But how do they deal with the Timber? It definitely feels like they're going to need to just like bring a couple heroes and drop a couple ultis if they want to kill him off. Meanwhile, boat, mid, off the mark.
Oh, hey,
that
nice.
was a nice move there by Gilgear. And now afterwards, going to pop the ulti, Watson. Oh, fear though. That's going to save Alberca. But they will still be able to find the cleanup onto Immersion. Burka, stun, nothing. Nothing left.
Damn. I mean, even all said just from a nice save on Gilgear himself, so well done for sure. Overgrowth is here for potential defense. He'd love to hold this tower. It's your tier 1. You got the tree.
Walk in, Requiem out, Limitless in trouble. Feared, is it enough though? The pipe, or rather Hood, doing a lot of work, tries to make a turnaround happen. Limitless jumps out, but will eventually be killed off, and Happy will live through it. Meanwhile, Gilgear, they pull back in Watson. Alberca right on top of him. This has gone terribly here for HellRaisers as AS Monaco Gambit mount a furious comeback. This brought everybody.
What's even happening there? Is that like they're believing that their Timber's going to survive, I guess, at that point? Like they're just like, okay, we just have to like stay with our Timber and hope that he can turn it. But they were just saving everything for so long. And then when the arena comes out, they still stick around. And then the X just cements it, you know?
Right.
You do not want to commit to a bad fight versus Kunkka because you're not getting out of it.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, you know, Timber's tanky, but if he eats a boat, if he eats a couple raises, the arena was down afterwards, like, it's not that tanky. it's an issue.
It's absurd how good of a Shadow Fiend game this was.
Yeah.
This was such a perfect pick because his build doesn't actually matter. Like, he doesn't have to go Yules for it to be a Magic SF since he has the X Torrent setup.
Yeah.
And he gives them the Siege. He gives them, like, Fear, combo with the Fear they already have. Oh, Gilgear, though. But he's not scared. He went in.
Oh, they might need to be scared. Gilgear is dead, and they... Oh, no. If they lose Watson here afterwards, Burka trying to chase him down, has X back up again. In trouble, no BKB yet, and that is going to be a dead Razor most likely as the chase down continues. They find the finish. Rebel DD wants to run down this Kunkka.
Come on, you have a DD.
Oh my God, it's not gonna happen. Alberca TP's out. Oh, that feels bad. That feels real bad.
What? Dude, that's unreal. She was like tickling him. It wasn't doing any damage.
Oh. Armlet good, boat good, very good.
Living armor good, you know. Quite a bit of armor issues happening here.
True.
14-minute phase, blink, soul ring. Even a wand there on melees too, so he is equally as farmed as the Razor.
You see this?
Watson.
Well, you see how that move down bottom too, trying to charge Happy and find a kill, but when Spiritbreaker came in, there's just no follow-up afterwards. So that's where you're definitely missing the maneuverability that HellRaisers had in game number 1.
And the fact that Limitless is just on this ward and he sees that he's killing neutrals means that Happy can kind of stick around down here. Because you would think that like Charge and Timbersaw and Tree's just dead. Unless he wants to overgrowth and run away or something.
Well, tough stuff. And Gambit now going to go for a big smoke play. They have a ward down behind enemy lines, and Limitless is there. Do they want to go, though? Arena out. That's the blink reveal, and Limitless dodges a little bit. Living for the moment, but it's just too much damage. There's way too much damage. Root afterwards. Charge comes through, only hits onto one. Maybe some good side blades here as Gilgear tried to make something happen. Smoke being popped now afterwards. Alberca's in trouble. Actually, no, he's not. They're just going to turn around and now maybe kill Rebel too. 3 are already dead. What an unmitigated disaster for HellRaisers.
Oh, wait, clean up, Watson.
Yeah, they end up getting a couple, but they've lost everybody else pretty much now. And Alberca not going to be able to connect onto that one. Torrent afterwards. Lorendorf kills the ward and they back out.
I'll say the real tragedy is that they didn't hit the initial combo where he tried to spear back to Lornov already charging the Requiem and it was going to be sick, and he missed the spear. That was disappointing. That's like a 2 from the judges, I have to say. Very, not going to win the slam dunk contest with that one.
That's fair. That is what we're doing, the slam dunk contest. But yeah, it's interesting, right? Because like even though they're getting completely outplayed in these fights, it feels like, and they've got just like this huge amount of damage, the lead hasn't really eclipsed into like terrible territory at this point because there's so much farming going on by HellRaisers, and another stack of these ancients.
Watson as well with all those kills, right? Like he was even with Mars just a moment ago. And now he's just like running through the jungle, bloodlusted. And Lornov's come back for what started this whole thing, though, which is pressure on the tower. And Alberca going to be here, too. Has the armlet. They could just force this, knowing that it's a pretty heavy commitment to defend versus, again, another Blink arena here.
Jumps for it. Limitless gets turned on, just eating every ultimate. As they will kill the Timbersaw yet again. And now that tier 1 tower falls mid. What a hit from Gambit.
This lineup just feels so difficult to play versus when you're behind. Like if you don't win out in your lanes as HellRaisers, and did they win any of their lanes? I mean, no, right?
No, not
They
really.
didn't win mid. SF got more farm. They didn't win bottom. Kunkka got more farm. Like Timber survived bottom. I don't know if you want to call that a win. Top, I believe the Mars won that as well. Lost their tower pretty early. So basically triple lane loss. Not massive losses, but losses nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, and I think that there still is like something to be said for this type of damage falling off a little bit. You know, and when BKBs come out, the game definitely changes a lot. But you still have this SF that's going to be going into this like right click carry build that is very hard to deal with. So we'll see how it goes, particularly just the BKB timing. So Razor has one completed. TA is what, about 1,000 gold away from finishing at this point. And you would think that maybe this Timbersaw with the Yule Scepter would have something that can be like another way to keep him alive, but like it's just not been enough as we hop back into this game. They need some more save from somebody.
dude, can they find it?
I don't know.
I do agree though. The BKB is the big thing for sure. Like if Watson can just get off that one perfect link, right? Maybe they can ruin this Shadow Fiend somehow with the BKB because their only control for the BKB will be the overthrow.
Jumps in. Melis down low. Melis going to fall. Does get one more spear off before he ends up dying there. And now with that, HellRaisers take control of this area. And is this Roche?
Yeah, DDTA. You got a Roche. Come on.
This is a big play if they can make it happen. This is really huge for him. A little bit of extra Eye of the Storm left as well. So Roche dropping very quickly, and Gilgear.
This Arcane Rune. It's giving them so many melds.
This is big. Charge
Triple
through.
meld.
Slow down, and they get there in time. Gilgear gets enough space open for the team to get the Aegis.
Man, she got triple meld off without even needing to do like the preemptive one.
That's crazy.
Purely from Arcane Runes. Could have got a quad meld. Oh, if only. Ooh, I see a call here. Melees wants to fight. I mean, yeah, we've talked to Melees a couple times in the interviews. I feel like this is definitely his. I mean, well, God, is it ever his hero? Look, he's a Grand Master, guys. So's of course Rebel and the TA. So we got a couple spammers face off against each other in the DPC games. But he just wants to go. He wants to fight. Those are what the best Marizers do because they understand that the whole point of this hero is just use arena constantly.
One thing that's a little bit scary is they're going underneath the ward. So this scouted at least 3 of Gambit. Now Immersion walks into it too. So HellRaisers are completely aware of what's happening. And then the question is going to be, how do they respond to this? Lorenov will be showing in the mid lane in just a moment, but it looks like they're just going to try and get the counterplay of taking over Radiant Jungle as well.
Why did Happy leave that sentry in this camp too?
Yeah.
I guess they're just leaving because they don't want to do any sort of a fight. Or they don't want to reveal anything about where they are on the map, but he doesn't realize it's just like a ward too.
Limitless has gotten blown up a couple of times in these fights now. And will reveal 1. Charge through, start it. Gambit, this is a dangerous place to be. This is a very dangerous place to be. Lorenov opens it up. Vision just
what's
outside.
Alberca doing?
Yeah, I don't know. He's saying that there's not going to be a fight, I guess. And they have that tier 1 tower you can TP into.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This is very interesting. He really wants this BKB.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the thing that's weird. It's one thing to not show up, but then like if the team is gonna go for a big smoke play like that, you would want to, I don't know, maybe time that with everybody going together.
I feel like they were almost trying to catch someone off guard on HellRaisers, because you know HellRaisers are prepping to make an aggressive move since they have the Aegis. So maybe they were hoping that there was like someone ahead, and they accidentally jump into 4 instead of just being the solo hero of like melees. Oh, like the Mars is just here to like push out the wave or something. And then you're getting this value of Kunkka still being farming this whole time, which is really important because they're going even with the Aegis team right now, because Razor was also just bottom farming.
Yeah. Well, they are, at the very least, on HellRaisers now putting a good amount of pressure onto this bottom tier 2 tower, and they have amazing vision in this area. Watson is here to break any moves. So is Gilgear. Like, this positioning by them is so sick.
Yeah,
as far as like
Limitless
the wall
is cutting trees too, right? They're just trying to get away any sort of defensive opportunity here from Gambit.
Yeah. And that will be the tier 2 tower taken. And in the meantime, Gambit can't really make that same type of a move as easily. And in
Whoa,
fact,
this trap, it's seeing everything though.
this charge is a little bit crazy to run through. Oh, the creep died and it ran into the runoff right as it broke. That was crazy. Do they get mid also?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they know they're all top. They're not very scared about taking this position.
Wow.
That hurts. For a tree lineup to not be... I mean, they can't really defend it. It's only a tier 1. It's not that big of a deal. It's 22 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's a swift succession of tower kills here from HellRaisers. They now move into the triangle as well.
Oh, God. If they lose heroes here. Immersion spotted.
They have the charge on
Jumped
Lord
on.
off.
And in some trouble back on the other side. They leave the Dark Willow to go for the bigger hit. The bash to start it. Another one onto the runoff who's just going to die. Oh, that one hurts. That one hurts.
The BKB timing, so important. They got their Aegis, and they're hitting the aggression. And as you said, I love the way they just ditch that other part of the fight. They're like, oh, I have the Shadow Fiend. Guys, I have the Shadow Fiend. I am bashing him twice.
Jeez. Yeah, this Kunkka needs to be careful, too, with Limitless having this Yule Scepter. I might get caught in no man's land. Another charge coming through, and they spot out Burka. The rest of the team making the move over. Afterwards, can they chase him down? They're going to get happy at the very least. It looks like that's going to be the extent of it, but a very, like, these last couple minutes, it has been all HellRaisers. Gambit haven't been able to do anything to stop the momentum of this Aegis.
It went from a 1K lead for Gambit to now a 4K for HellRaisers here.
Yeah.
No real threat, I don't think, here on Limitless.
Alberca just walks forward. And yeah, Limitless is perfectly fine with this at the moment. Aegis just now expiring.
All right, so let's reset a little here. There's no Aegis. There's BKB on Kunkka. There's also a Halberd versus these BKBs, right? Of the Templar Assassin and the Razor. So that's a bit worrisome. You really don't want that to catch you before your BKB. Oh, no.
Alberca gone on again. Afterwards, they pull him down low, and no chance. The bash is out afterwards. Arena down. Gilgear very low. Can they do enough, though? Here comes afterwards. The boat going to connect. Nobody really taking that much damage, though, afterwards. The fear to force them away. And Limitless still living through this. Rebel now continues to chase Lorenov, slowed down like crazy, and forces out the BKB of the SF, so they only lose the Spirit Breaker. Oh, they just let that courier go away.
I can't believe Alberca survived there near the like he BKB'd so late. There must have been some serious evasion things happening there, because like the rum came pretty late. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
He was so low. I suppose there's probably living armor on top of that too, so we're just stacking that all up. It just becomes a ridiculous amount of reduction. I mean, it says that HellRaisers did 52, almost 5,300 damage to that engagement. It was basically all just on the Kunkka.
Yeah, he's soaking all that up a lot. But we're seeing again the power of this lineup. HellRaisers have looked very good in this game. Super impressed with their performance in the series as a whole. Mm-hmm. And then the question just becomes like, okay, this next Roche fight, how does that end up looking?
They do have a lot of vision right now on the map for Gambit. They see everything. They see that HellRaisers are all farming this jungle right now, and they're going to try and take advantage of that here. Coming in behind Alberca. Dire vision, not great. They've had the traps. I think they have a general idea of where they're moving, but not quite as fully focused here. And they will retreat back, so going to respect.
In the meantime, HellRaisers holding on to both of these outposts. So every minute that passes by is losing out on that XP for Gambit and controlling more of the map. It's going to start scaling further and further into the favor of HellRaisers unless Gambit can do something to sort of upset the balance that's sort of being played out right now.
Quite the angle coming in here from Gilgear as well. He shows himself across mid. Well, they have a sentry down anyway, so invis or not, they're going to know that's coming.
Absolutely. And TPs start to come over. And a smoke up afterwards.
Take it. Take the outpost. Take it.
They want to.
Oh, they want someone to come over, yeah.
Yeah. Now they're going to have to take it now. That smoke, like not being able to connect on that sucks for Gambit. That's a tough one to deal with.
They also didn't go ward here. I feel like most teams would move aggressively there and go ward next to the base, especially because you're versus the Spirit Breaker. You can catch a lot of his movements and everything, but they go right back for the Roche pit, and, you know, they are rewarded. Roche is there.
Whoa. Instant spawn. That is big.
Now the Dire see it too, though. So they both noticed this.
Yeah, the TA illusion. And Melis, you can see this is at least the benefit that you've got of this Kunkka is like TP1 back, X, and then you've got the wave push up, but still controlling this area.
They can just camp and own all of this, and now looks like Happy's kind of circling their own triangle and thinking like they're going to go take our triangle. And then HellRaisers immediately says, let's go take their triangle.
Right.
That's where we want to make our, like, you know, mounting aggression from towards the Roche pit is from that high ground.
Interesting. They got the charge. They see them in the pit, actually. That charge onto Alberca. Gilgear cancels it now. But they are in there, starting to slowly but steadily whittling down Roche. Watson.
The refresher's on him. It's ready for this fight.
They move in, think about going, and boat has already been used once. Watson pops the plasma field, charge comes through, hits onto all of them. Alberca, BKB out, can they get there in time? Taking him down low, Roche still hasn't fallen yet. It
Watson
finally does, and they got it. Age just snatched away. Alberca did get some cheese, I think, there. Maybe just the Atos, but second round, blow him up. Oh, Watson gonna lose his life. They will blow up Lorenov. Limitless does enough damage, and actually TA just hitting the whole time through. They're whittling them down bit by bit, and the rum buff will not be enough to keep them alive as they take down 3 for Watson.
Oh, that timing on the charge, too. He's about to get off another armlet toggle, maybe at least get one more kill, but burnt down, and Watson just absorbed it all.
Yeah.
He took 2 full rounds. Like, he was at, like, such little HP when he picked up that Aegis. That was so close. That was huge for them. Think of that Aegis on the SF instead. That fight, I'm pretty sure, goes to Gambit.
What a big hit from down bottom. They're also going to blow up Immersion. Like, that can't happen. They take them all down, like, one by one. And as they try and escape, the rest of Gambit falls as well. HellRaisers now sieging high ground, taking this building down. And I don't know. That hurts a lot.
I'm like trying to find when he picked up the Aegis, but I can't even. God, he was so low when he grabbed that. That was insane.
Yeah.
Watson, I mean, everything came together, right? That was like the exact opposite of what happened last game for Razor.
True.
Where, like, he had the fight at that perfect timing with the BKB, with the refresher, the double ulti. Comes in, it's the Aegis fight they want. He also got the shard. Still has it, by the way.
Yeah.
Doesn't actually work in the inventory, so he's going to pass it over to Limitless. They want to take some towers.
Flamethrower. It's like a Charmeleon.
Do you get it on Charmeleon? I think he might, actually. You might be right.
Yeah. Don't test me.
I don't know.
Okay.
See, I mean, I wasn't a complete coward. I didn't take Charmander as a child.
Listen, I like lizards. Okay, get out of here.
Okay.
I think it's
Squirtle gang,
level.
rise up.
I think it's level 16. Is
What?
when you get it.
No, flamethrower? Are you crazy?
Jump in. Tries to kill Alberca. The flamethrower's flowing, but will it be enough? I actually don't know if it is. You'll Scepter afterwards, keeps a little bit of separation. But yeah, now with Watson coming in, the BKB going, refresher back up soon, but Lorenov already going to fall. Reb doing what he can, turns on to Happy. Oh, wait a minute now. All right, Watson with the second round of abilities here is going to be able to blow them all up, though. Rebel will fall. Watson, refresher. Thinking about popping it and then getting out of there. Will it matter? Jumps away. And that will be enough to TP out afterwards. No, the Yule Scepter. It comes
the
to
timing.
time. Watson dies. It looked so good for a moment, but it didn't end up working.
I love when teams like commit for that. They're just checking the timing. They're just like, I don't know if he's got it. You know, I was gonna make sure here. And, well, we didn't have it that time. Oh, that was unreal. I'm pretty sure it's like level 32 or 33. Just for the record. I think you're incorrect.
No,
but I don't know.
If anything, it's 12.
What are you talking about? Flamethrower was like a later one. You're so wrong. Either way, Flamethrower was there for that fight, and well, he didn't get the most damage. Actually, he did get quite a bit of damage. It's just like it's so overwhelming how this has become a like Kunkka is doing a ton of damage in the engagements, and then it's just Razor. It's like these big blobs of just damage flowing everywhere, and things looking good for HellRaisers at the start of that engagement, but not able to finish the big kills there.
Yeah, it hurts.
Also, Melee's is sick.
He is.
Yeah.
I think that that sort of speaks to what can still happen. Like if they're able to blow up one at the start, if like, you know, there's not those charges coming through by Gilgear, some of these heroes are still a little bit vulnerable, particularly once the BKB goes down, and that's going to be the next timing most likely. What's that now done? Sanj and Kaya for Timbersaw, trying to tank up a bit, get that status resistance going as well. And a 4,000 gold lead with Gambit down 1 racks. It is the mid racks though, so that's something at least where it's like you can control that a little bit more easily. Less annoying to have to deal with those side lanes pushing out.
Yeah, I do think there is a bit of an issue though in terms of like, how do Gambit fully turn this game? I think it's going to take several of those fights because their actual pressure on the towers is pretty weak. It's basically relying on sending in the Shadow Fiend. I guess they could do like Xing the Shadow Fiend and running him at the towers. That could work. Right. They don't actually have a Yule. Oh no, they do. They have the Yules on the Timber.
Right.
So there's a theoretical punish, but only if you screwed up.
I mean, the other thing that we've sort of got to keep our eyes on though is this BKB timings, because Rebel 7 seconds now as Arena gonna be used. Status resistance afterwards, not enough to keep Gilgear alive. But with double Halberd now, right? Like you've got Halberd on the Mars and the Kunkka. If TA is not dealing damage in these fights when BKB's out, like they need to kill them in one go, it feels like.
Yeah, and as you pointed out last time, that's basically on Gilgear. Like he has to be the one, because that's how they got this lead. Was
right.
He was just charging into ulti, and it didn't matter who it was, they're gonna die because they have the quick burst from the Templar Assassin.
No, Razor Refresher I thought was going to be a bigger deal in the last fight. Didn't end up happening. But does have it now for the double Eye of the Storm.
Limitless putting some pressure. Maybe not confident that he'll be able to get away with this. I feel like he can just go flamethrower that. But obviously I have the omniscient vision that
right.
he won't be punished, and he does not. So that's why you're only seeing creeps hitting. And you know what? There's actually no point. 'Cause unless you're taking the tower fully, why bother versus a Treant Protector?
Yeah, exactly. This gold lane staying static. And we do have, which we saw earlier, the MKB done for the TA2, so that's helping to deal with these issues, the butterfly and, you know, these halberds we've talked about a couple of times. So TA is still doing a nice chunk of damage, but there are some things to be a little bit concerned about, depending upon how the next couple of minutes go here, and of course the next Roche fight, always so important.
Actually so many compounding factors of why long fights are just bad feeling for HellRaisers, I think. In this, well, maybe not long fights. Like long fights are kind of okay as long as they get the initial burst kill, as you've said. But you know, I'm just starting to look around at things like even Dark Willow, something as simple as that shard with a Cursed Crown. Like if someone just gets Cursed Crowned right now, like Templar Assassin, she's gonna have to BKB.
Right.
You know, like I don't really see. You know, there's no good save. Like maybe you'd have some sort of a coverage to try and to save her or something, but it's gonna be kind of ugly. And then if she BKBs for that and then she gets overgrowth, like they just lose.
Well, and that's the other thing too, right? Is that like you've got this other thing that's going on here as well, which is the rum buff, right? So like even if they all get down somewhat low, there's like if somebody doesn't get bursted, they'll all get their spells off, and with BKBs, it's just, I don't know, it's scary. HellRaisers have to be very careful about how they take the next fight. Definitely still feels like they're in control, but there are some cracks in the armor, maybe.
Yeah, Limitless is our best save here. He's got that Lotus, so maybe he can do something to assist.
Another X mark up top. Pushes out the wave. Trying to force some response, but just creeps there. Unlikely that HellRaisers are going to commit anybody to defend. And down bottom, good amount of damage out by Immersion. And Gilgear just walks it off. All right, AC now done for Razor. So with AC and Refresher,
they're going into it's a long rush spawn though. This is not here right now. Oh, melee's spotted.
Vision down. Good silence. Watson pops one. Immediately goes on to Lorenov. Look at the damage though. Oh, he's got to get out of there. Watson's some trouble. Second round of abilities. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Alberca buying a little bit of extra time. Watson gets away on almost no HP. But the buyback comes from the Mars. Immersion trying to kill off Gilgear. He's going to fall. Happy now in a little bit of trouble, but they get the boat off. Going to connect. Mella's not going to be able to hit with the spear. Limitless gets out.
What?
And Rebel,
That was the greatest use of all time.
Man.
He's on Spear and Requiem. How did he get
sick.
to live? Oh no! They how did you manage to stack those two spells of all the spells in the world that those were both gonna hit at the same time?
Yeah, that's pretty wild. And in the end, you do get a Mars buyback. Spirit Breaker's still dead.
I think they got their gem too, unless someone else grabbed it. No, it is picked up there by Malady. So good grab as he's running around dropping the gem to check high grounds.
Mm-hmm. Rainbow Maze cooldown too. Yeah, this Willow is in a scary spot. Level 20. It's actually the same level as Melis on this Willow.
Yeah, he's able to really shred through there. Immersion onto the Gilgir Spirit Breaker. 2400 HP does, Willow no cares when it comes to that. If you don't have a BKB and you get stunned because you have to sort of like run into these engagements, that's going to be a problem. I do love the ninja gear though on the Spirit Breaker. Very helpful for setting up good angles. You can like preemptively smoke around, go through wards and everything, and then get these crazy charges with your Shadow Blade after.
It has this feel right now where we're getting to a stage where those types of things are going to matter way more, like what the angle Spirit Breaker gets on his charge, and having that Aghanim Scepter completed, it makes a huge difference in terms of like how much he's going to be providing to these fights. Anything else that really is coming out that we're seeing that will make a huge difference here? It's like Ogre's just Ogre at this point, Just Force Staff and the Aether Lens.
He's bloodlusting, it's a underappreciated aspect.
That's fair.
Doing his thing.
Yeah.
And then, maybe you get that scythe. Never
True.
forget DJ 4X Overcast scythe going high ground.
That was so sick. I love that.
That's the only time I can ever remember that happening.
I haven't played enough Turbo with Ogre.
That's true, yeah.
Get a Midas. Happens. It's terrible, but it's great. All right, they're ready to get back into this one now. And 7,000 gold lead off the back of that buyback from Mars, and he is definitely falling behind the Timbersaw in terms of the damage. We saw in that last fight how devastating just Shadow Fiend turning and punching this Razor is. Like, Watson can't really deal with it, it feels like.
No, the AC and everything is there, but even with that, you're looking at a Shadow Fiend. Pretty frightening.
Oh,
that X! Oh my god!
Immersion.
Put that fluffy hat back in the inventory, man. Come on.
Right? That might need to be an XTP back or something. I don't know. That was spooky as hell. The heck? SF denying the DD rune with a bottle in inventory.
It's just,
Lorenov
that's
want to
focus
walk up.
right there. Yeah, not worth it.
Radiant are scanning.
That's crazy. I mean, again,
man.
it's like we have all the vision in the world, but like he was close enough to deny a DD rune with a bottle ready.
All right. Roche is up. Kunkka, I'm sure, is going to scout it in just a second.
Bottom, they keep this pressure on here. There's a double wave that's going to be coming in a sec towards the tier 3 tower, but don't think that's going to end up mattering, yeah. This TA Swift Blink is done as well.
It's a refresher, by the way, on Roche.
Okay.
No Aghanims here today. All right, so pressure on melees. Last time he got spotted by a war being placed on the high ground, and he didn't BKB right away. I feel like he's going to BKB a lot faster this time because that was very dangerous. He almost died. Well, he almost died instantly, I should say. He managed to get off at least the arena and a little bit of help before going down and losing the gem and having to buy back, but needs to be a bit quicker on this one.
They decided to go with Flicker on Spirit Breaker instead of the Ninja Gear, actually. And Ninja Gear instead is going to be held for Melis this time on the Mars. Still keeping Ceremonial Rope for the moment, but they're taking down Roche. It's going quick. They got to know about this. Can they get there in time? Malady looking for it. Watson runs through. Plasma Field to start. They're letting them take that Aegis. Round 2 of this, though, Melis is just dead instantly. That's the decision to jump there. Eul Scepter afterwards, trying to buy a little bit of extra space.
Get
Watson backs out. Rebel gets disarmed, has to retreat again, trying to kite away from this damage. Charge through onto 3.
They're just
Pretty
trapped.
good hit. Look at him. They chase him down, but the good bleed back from Rebel. Oh, that was sick to dodge this spear coming out from the Willow. Second round, Alberca has another round of spells available, but the hit from the high ground dead. Triple kill for him. Rebel just laying into all of them one by one. Ultra kill now. The fear is out. Lorenov needs to get the hell out of here and will barely manage to dodge the rampage.
But Happy, is that a rampage? It might be.
Where you at, buddy?
He's juking.
They got him caught over here to the side. Couple more punches come through. Rampage for Rebel. Easy peasy for the TA.
Now, I'm a little confused because I thought he was the space cow, but it appears that Gilgear's the one doing the herding there. Did you see that? Yeah, he
was
just
sick.
bashed the three of them right into them. TA's just swinging away. He's taking over Watson's role from last game, right, on the TV.
Jeez, that was crazy. And now they're dead. Is this it?
I think it
HellRaisers?
may be, my friend.
Oh, man, what a way to end it. Rebel, the absolute god. And the dodge of the terrorize. Very nicely played.
They might not call it, and they might not fully commit. It's a little dangerous. We'll see. But HellRaisers, they like to be on schedule here. And, yep, after some longer series this morning, they're putting us right back on the clock here, ladies and gentlemen. That's a 2-0.
Impressive showing. You know, there wasn't anybody willing on the panel to commit to the HellRaisers 2-0, but they came to play today. Gambit get taken out.
It was a painful day for Gambit. I think they could have won both of these games, and both games they lost by going in the Roche pit first. And I don't even know if it was the wrong call. That's the thing. Like, I don't necessarily think that they made a mistake doing it either time, but I almost wonder if that's going to weigh on them a bit, and they're going to be like, should we do this? Because like they were confident to try it again, but it felt like the fight just couldn't really get into their favor after that. And HellRaisers, the way they take fights is so impressive. Like they are,
it is.
They're closers. These guys.
Well, and this is the thing that's really like hitting the chest off the back of this, right? For Gambit, they're going to have a long time to think about it because they don't play again until the 4th week. So it is a very long break. And HellRaisers, they're going out on like a high note. They took down Unique previously. They took down Virtus Pro. Like this opening season for HellRaisers has been awesome. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. But for now, we're going to go to a quick break. And we get back, the panel's going to break down all the action. We'll see y'all then.